Welcome, everybody. What's going on? Appreciate everybody jumping in here, smashing those likes, hitting that subscribe. I am Blockchain Crusader, crusading through these blockchains every single day, and we are back for a Friday afternoon live stream here, guys. Lots of things are happening in the market overall. BitTensor Tau and a few other altcoins are having a nice little rally today. BitTensor Tau up 9%, tapping $306 earlier today before pulling back down to 272, but still up for the day. Aptos up 6%, Shiba up 7.6%, Fetch up 6.7%, Quant up 4.1% today, Siren and Kite 13 and 9% respectively, and so forth. Overall, a little bit of altcoins having a little bit of a run to the upside today. Let's quickly jump into Bitcoin and see where Bitcoin is going. In the meantime, make sure you guys are smashing those likes, hitting that subscribe, and I will get back to the chat here in just a second and start answering some questions. So Bitcoin here overall throughout the day has been creating a lower high, right? Has been yesterday we dumped all the way down to about 68,000. We started to rally up between the Asia and London trading session, topping out around 71,300 and now pulling back again during the New York session. We have just recently swept this current low here around 69 and it is having a little bit of a push back into New York sessions orb, but like as you can see, we have been creating a clear downtrend overall throughout the entire day, making lower highs. So unless we can start breaking above this previous day EQ at 70,174 here in the next couple of minutes, we could finally start to break this lower high structure and start pushing for a new market structure up towards 70,800 to potentially 71,500 into the weekend. But if we do not and we continue this downtrend, target to the downside is $68,751. Now, let's recap here for the entire week overall, right? Because a lot has been happening here. Let me get rid of this. Let me clean up this chart a little bit. A lot has been happening here throughout this week, and you guys know, we got to talk about it. We've got to talk about it, right? So let me just quickly boom. All right. So we have clearly created a downtrend here, straight down, nothing but down to the downside since Tuesday after we topped out around 75,900 and we started to drop down lower and lower and lower we went. That being said, does that mean that the rally is over? Does that mean that we are not going to go for 80,000 to maybe 84,000? No, that does not discount us from running towards that high. And I'm going to explain in a little bit deeper why in just a second. In the meantime, I appreciate everybody in here. Make sure you guys are tapping those likes on TikTok, filling up those like meters, getting the show rocking and rolling. Everybody over here on YouTube as well. Make sure you guys continue smashing those likes and sharing out the live. I greatly appreciate it. So let me get rid of this over here. Pop, pop, pop. We're currently reaching the weekly value area low here, which we actually hit the value area low of the previous week range here. We just hit that and had a little bit of a bounce, which is where we swept the current lows from. And we're having a little bit of a push to the upside. Now, I was saying, right, meanwhile, we're still holding this previous month EQ of $69,579. We will most likely be able to still push towards the previous month high. But unfortunately, right, we are coming here toward the end of March, right? The end of March, we're on March 20th right now. We got another, 10, 11 days left before the month is over. Yeah, we got 11 more days before the month is over. And we're going to be not just closing out the monthly range here for March, but we're going to be closing out the quarterly range as well for the Q1 of 2026. And this rejection here at 74,000 is definitely significant. It is the rejection of the value area high of the 2024 yearly range. If we zoom out here to the daily, you guys can see this as well. Let me get rid of this. Let me get rid of this. Let me put this. There you go. As you guys can see here on the daily, right? this price action is definitely significant. We came all the way up to 74,000, which is the value area high of the 2024 yearly range. We got rejected and we fell back below. Now, if we zoom out, which is not good, we do have some untapped targets down here between 59 to 57, and a potential rotation of this full range down to 48 is still in play. Now, the only saving grace here that we have is if we jump out to the, not the weekly, the monthly. The monthly here is doing something that we don't get too much of, and that is creating a monthly inside bar. All right, the last time we had a monthly inside bar over here, we did not take the high nor the low, or the low nor the high, and then we had a massive rally all the way up, taking the highs and then dumping it down, taking the lows as well. So here in this next following month, assuming we close here in the next 11 days without any major dump all the way down to 59,000, if we close an inside bar here on the monthly time frame, right, next month we could, if we are above the previous month EQ, we could be taking this high and this high right here, which takes us between 75 to around $80,000. We take this high and we can still wick it back down and then drop us all the way down, taking this low as well in the inside bar. Just something to keep in touch with. What's going on, Scott? What's going on, B-Fire? Good to see you guys. So I have all eyes focused on this monthly inside bar as a potential of whether we wick down and take out the lows first and then push up. That would be the best scenario. But if we push up first, we will most likely come back down and take the lows, as well as, the possibility of taking the lows increases at that point in time. Something I need to check here that I haven't checked in quite some time is the monthly, the quarterly inside, the quarterly expansions here. Zooming out. Let's see, how much has this expansion been? From this high to this low, 38%. We're still expecting a little bit more than that, but not bad. Was expecting a little bit larger of a drop, but got a 38% drop total. So we'll have to see here. We could be able to get another quarterly month. Quarterly is closing here very soon. So unless we drop below 57,000 the next few in the next 11 days and extend it, right? Extend this drop to 48,000 here in the next 11 days, we're most likely going to have that massive expansion in the next quarter. So just something to be keeping an eye on for some potential expansions and averages that Bitcoin hits. Shout out to Magic Internet Money for showing me about the 3-month expansions and inside bars. So if you guys want to know more about that, definitely follow Magic Internet Money. Wet Bandit says, hit you with 300. Appreciate that, brother. Appreciate that. Make sure you guys start dropping your likes, or not dropping your likes. Start dropping your comments and questions into the chat here. I'm going to start jumping into the chat, saying hello to some people. What's going on? B-Fire, what's going on? Scott, good to see all of you guys. Good to see you guys smashing those likes in here. Let's see. BitTensor Tau. Somebody's asking about BitTensor Tau. Harry Tackleberry says, I love your news. Appreciate that, brother. So BitTensor Tau here. Very one of my favorite crypto altcoins here that I've been holding and I've been following closely. Let's jump out here to the daily. Let's turn off all of this. All right. So we've hit all of our targets to the downside. 142 was a major target. We have been trying to break out of this previous week high here of 293. We have been sweeping this previous week high, which is usually not good, but it is close to the end of the week already. So a full rotation all the way back down towards the previous week low. Very unlikely at this point in time. But nonetheless, we have been getting rejected from this $300 region. If we can start closing candles above the $300 region, we will be re-entering the 2025 yearly range. Re-entering this range puts targets into perception here between 316 to 391 as very short-term likely targets to hit. Above that, we're looking for 422 to 480, and then above 480, we're looking for 617. But those are quite some ways from now. I'm mostly focused between 316 to 391 for Bit Tensor Tau. Once we can start closing larger time frame dailies and weeklies candles above 300. So far, we have not been able to reclaim 300. We attempted back in January, got rejected when Bitcoin lost 98. And then this week, we've attempted twice, and both times have been rejected from the 300 area as well. So that's Bit Tensor Tau. Good seeing all of you guys in here. Appreciate all you guys smashing those likes, hitting that subscribe. Keep dropping your comments into the chat. People are voting. Is altcoin season wrecked? Is it over or is it just starting? And people are voting for it's over. It's over. Or is it just getting started? Drop a 1 in the chat if you guys think the altcoin season is just getting started. Drop a 2 in the chat if you think alt season is getting wrecked and it's over. It's never going to come back and it's dead forever. Does River have utilities or just a rug pull? I personally don't know anything about River. I know it's been pumping lately, and people have talked about it. They've asked me about it here in the chat, but fundamentally, I really don't even know what River does. River's market cap is 437 million, which is a small mid cap at best. Very, very small here. Not a micro cap, but it is what it is. It's up 160% on the month. So I would be very careful touching this thing. I would not be FOMOing into this thing right now as it is up 160% on the month. Don't want to be catching the top of a massive falling knife situation. So like I said, I don't know anything about River. I don't follow a lot of altcoins for their fundamentals. I just look at the technical analysis on the charts. Seeing a lot of ones in the chat. Saying that altcoin season is just getting started. It's never over. It's just not at the moment. I agree. So one thing we need to understand here when it comes to altcoins and altcoin season is that we might never see an altcoin season again like we did back in 2021, right? Where everything blasted off, raising. What was the term that was said, or the phrase that was said back then? Rising tides raises all boats, or something like that. Yeah, that is pretty much not existing anymore, right? That's not real. There are way too many altcoins now. Way too many altcoins. If we go to CoinGecko, let's go to Coin Market Cap, CoinGecko, whatever. Let's see here. Where is the total number of crypto coins? I know it was up here somewhere. Where is it? Oh, goodness gracious. Now I can't find it. That's nice. Wait, Coin Market Cap released. Oh, they have an index. Interesting. Well, I can't find it here. It used to be up here somewhere where they literally would tell you how many altcoins existed. Look, number of cryptos tracked. 46 million cryptocurrencies at least. Back in 2021, there was half of that, right? Half of that. So if we go back to 2021, those were new cryptocurrencies tracked. But what was the total back then? Back in 2021, right around here. Back in 2021, there was only 19,000 cryptocurrencies. 19,000. Think about that for a second. 19,000 cryptocurrencies only back in 2021, right? Back in 2021, with the largest altcoin season ever, there was only 19. There was less than 20,000 altcoins in general, cryptocurrencies in general. Right now, we have 46 million. 46 million. Do the math there on how large of growth and how diluted this market has become, right? Because of the how easy the technology has evolved to be able anybody to create altcoins, meme coins, right, and launch new projects every other day. So that dilution has definitely hurt cryptocurrency altcoin seasons. Another thing is what? Prediction markets. Prediction markets is a whole nother system, right, that has also diluted the pool of investors coming in to invest in altcoins and in the altcoin season. Because back then in 2021, the only way people could make any kind of large amount of money with a small amount of money was in crypto altcoins. It wasn't going to be in the stocks. Prediction markets didn't exist. And like I said, there was less than 20,000, not 20 million, less than 20,000 altcoins in total. Now we have prediction markets. We have 46 million different altcoins. So if you think your altcoin is going to do 1,000+ X and you're going to hold it for the next 5, 10 to 10 years because it's never going to go to zero, it's never going to go away, you are setting yourself up to get wrecked, right? I'm telling you this so that you guys are prepared so that in the next altcoin season, in the next moment altcoins have a major rally, you guys are aggressive on taking profits. Because if you're not aggressive on taking profits, you will be getting wrecked once again. Is trading meme coins even worth it? In my personal opinion, no. In my personal opinion, it's not, right? Being in the trenches, right, and scouting for all these meme coins, it's definitely not worth it. Those insider groups that people join, the grand majority of them are just the grand majority. I've never seen an exception, but maybe there's some out there, right? Just because I haven't seen them, I can't say they don't exist. Most of those groups, whoever runs those groups gets paid to push a meme coin into that group as alpha. You guys that are in the community buy up the meme coin because it's the next best thing, because your alpha leader is telling you to buy this thing, right? The coin pumps. That person that bought in before you exits, they get out, they make all the money, and then you get dumped on, and they're like, oh man, that's the DGen life, man. We'll get it on the next one. And yeah, maybe sometimes you'll be smart enough to get out quick and make a little bit of money. But over the long haul, you will most likely lose money. When it comes to trading, less than 20%, I think it's less than 15% of people that trade are actually profitable. You think that percentage is in your favor when it comes to meme coin trenches? If doing technical analysis and full-time day trading, I think it's like 15 to 13% of people are profitable over the long term. You guys think that number is going to be in larger amount in favor towards people that are degenning in the trenches with meme coins? The percentage of people actually profitable in the long term in meme coins has to be probably less than 1%. Probably less than 1%. And those people that are profitable in the long term in meme coins are the people either creating the meme coins or the people running those alpha groups that are getting paid ahead of time and know when to get out ahead of time, right? So they're literally pumping their own coins with you guys as exit liquidity. So those will probably be the only people making money, which is definitely less than 1%. Scott says, I'm wrecked. Give me another chance. Market, even my spot bags are totaled. Oh, man, I'm sorry to hear that, man. I'm sorry to hear that, Scott. That does happen. It happens to everybody, guys. It happens to everybody when you jump into the crypto markets, right? Especially when there's FOMO in the market. Everybody's always talking about how much higher, how much higher, how much higher. Nobody talks about lower, right? Same thing happened with silver. People were jumping into silver at $100 plus, saying that I was going to go to 200, I was going to go to 300. The silver shortage is here, guys. The silver shortage is here. Trump is going to go to war with the Middle East, and that's going to push precious metals even more. Silver is going to go even higher, yada, yada. Guess what? Conflict arised. Silver still not pumping. Silver shortage narrative is gone. And now we are in the dumpy dumps on silver. Everybody that bought silver over 100 is getting wrecked. People that bought crypto in at $126,000 Bitcoin and higher, all their altcoins are crushed, and you guys are in the red. And unfortunately, most of those altcoins will never come back, will probably never make it to new all-time highs. Yes, they will have pumps, they'll have rallies, but they'll probably never make it to all-time highs, right? It's very different than back in 2017 when I first started. I was buying what you could have said was a big top for Ethereum. The first time I ever bought Ethereum was at $289. It had just dropped from like $330 or something like that. And it was in October of 2017. I'll never forget. It was the first purchase I ever made. Bought about $1,000 worth of ETH at that point in time. Yes, Ethereum ran all the way up to 1,400. I kept buying Ethereum all the way up. And then by February of 2018, ETH was all the way back to $500 and less. And, you know, continued to dump all the way down to $80. All the way until 2020, 2021, where it eventually started to skyrocket again with Bitcoin and hit, you know, thousands and thousands of dollars. But back then, in 2017, you could only buy like 5 altcoins in Coinbase. You had Bitcoin, you had Litecoin, you had XRP, you had Ethereum, you had Dogecoin, and maybe 1 or 2 other altcoins out there that I don't remember at this point in time. And we definitely didn't have 20,000 altcoins. We definitely did not have anywhere near 46 million altcoins, which helped me dollar cost average Ethereum, Cardano, and a few others for the long term. And then in 2021, and when everything skyrocketed, went deeply into the green. But let me tell you, that scenario is not likely going to continue happening as the dilution continues to occur in these markets. Most people calling crypto a scam are the ones wrecked by memes. 100% agree, Wet Bandit. 100% agree. Scott says, I started 3 years ago, 3 years into the bull run, didn't know better, bought the dip, and kept going. Yeah, it happens, bro. Everybody gets wrecked on their first go. Everybody gets wrecked on their first go, especially if you're brand new to investing, brand new. You don't understand technical analysis. You don't understand markets. You don't understand market cycles. You don't understand FOMO, fear, panic, narratives. You don't understand how these markets are actually driven. You can get swept up in the narratives. You can get swept up in, right? One of the biggest narratives and the last narrative that I'll probably ever get swept into is the Bitcoin reserve. The Bitcoin reserve was probably my biggest narrative brainwash that I fell into in 2024, right? I saw the Bitcoin ETFs were coming online, BlackRock, Bitcoin was blasting off. I knew that was going to be huge. It was huge. And then obviously we had the orange man running for president and, you know, talking about a Bitcoin strategic reserve. And guess what? It's been 2 years. Ain't no strategic reserve anywhere. If it does happen, it probably won't even pump the price, right? We're having a bunch of different states push strategic reserves, but that doesn't pump price. Nobody cares about statewide, state level strategic reserves. Everybody wants a federal strategic reserve. And at this point, even if it were to occur, I don't even think it would really pump the price. But that's probably going to be the last narrative I ever get swept under. Since then, obviously, all I've done is focus a lot more on technical analysis, reading charts, reading data, and just going based off the data, focusing on trading, right? Being able to capitalize on these markets every single day and extract capital from these markets every single day. Doesn't matter if the price is going up or down. There's tons of money to be made in these markets every day. And I'm just focused on doing just that, and not buying into these narratives. Yes, I do have long-term holds, but never ever. Whenever the FOMO starts kicking in and you think it's going to go higher and it's at all-time highs and oh my gosh, this is it. This is the moment we're going to get rich. It's not. Just take profits. Just take some profits. Love to hear the kiddos in the background. Yeah, man, they're wild. Would you see Solana? Where would you see Solana by 2030? Man, that's a long time from now. Right. Solana was one of the few that had some major adoption, right? As you can call with Trump and with Trump launching 2 meme coins on its network in less than 2 weeks, right? And clogging up its network, and Solana literally skyrocketed all the way to about 295 and then topped out, dropped all the way down to 94 bucks, rallied back up to 252 and dumped back down. Now, realistically, targets for Solana to the upside, if we're looking at the chart here, right, between 116 to 295, which is the all-time high, is definitely on the table. Above 295, I'm looking at 354 to 377 as targets to the upside, right? This 295 and higher is definitely going to be tough to reclaim, especially if you look at fundamentals, right? If you look at fundamentals, what is going to be fundamentally more bullish than the sitting president of the United States launching the first meme coin ever, right? Presidential meme coin ever, and then launching a second meme coin a week later. And what level of adoption is going to have to come to Solana that's going to be higher than that? The only narrative that I can see being spun ahead of time is the tokenized stocks, right? Tokenized stocks is a very big narrative being created right now. There's a lot of tokenization of stocks happening where you can trade stocks on Hyperliquid, right? Hyperliquid is one that's definitely stealing market share from Solana with tokenized stocks, but Solana has tokenized stocks on the Phantom wallet and all this stuff, which definitely could help drive more trading for the Solana network, more activity on the Solana network. But like I said, tokenized stocks are happening across many different blockchains and many different platforms. So I don't think that's going to be enough for Solana to push above $300. But like I said, we do have a target at 377. We'll see. But we're currently sitting at $88 from where we are today, right? From where we are today in price action, all the way up to 240 is 170% run. If we run it back to the 295 all-time high, that's a 232% pump. And if we run it to this 377, that is a 324% rally, which is fantastico, my friends. Fantastico. Now, by no ways am I saying that Solana has bottomed out, because if Bitcoin does rotate towards that $48,000 to $34,000 price point, which I definitely think is realistic for Bitcoin in this year, I could see Solana rotating down towards $55 to $32. $55 to $32 is definitely going to be my big buy zone for Solana. Do you see Bitcoin to 71 tonight? To 71 tonight? I mean, it's possible. Today, volume's been very low. Price action's been very slow today. But like I said, anything's possible. We could rally towards that $71,000 region over the weekend. Definitely possible. We're creating an inside bar here on the monthly. The weekly, we already took out the highs. So right now, I'm not really focusing on trading anything. I don't trade the weekends. I definitely don't trade Fridays. I have a lot of things, family stuff happening on Fridays. So I don't trade Fridays. I just trade Monday through Thursday. And yeah, I'll be waiting for Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern, for that moment in time to set up the new week, look at where we are, see how the weekly looks, see how the monthly continues to build out. And I'm very excited for this quarter to end and month to end. There's going to be a lot of new data coming out for Bitcoin and all the altcoins you're tracking, right? BitTensor, Tau, Render, XRP, Solana, Bitcoin Cash, Zcash, ADA, and so forth, Hyperliquid. There's going to be a lot of critical data coming out here. We're going to be getting quarterly, monthly data all coming out at the April 1st. So very excited for that. And that's going to give us a way better picture of what quarter 2 is going to look like. I do believe there is a potential rally setting up for in Q2. Obviously, nothing is set in stone, nothing is guaranteed, but I think it is possible for a short-term rally for Bitcoin, which will allow altcoins to breathe a little bit and get people excited into the market before coming into the summer and getting everybody wrecked once again and pushing down a lot lower. BFAR says, can you show which high and low you used to get your golden pocket to the downside? Let's see here. You're talking about the golden pocket on this large gold pocket down here, golden pocket down here. This gold pocket is just very simple from the actual lows. Let me turn these indicators off. All right, click the golden pocket tool, the golden pocket tool, the Fibonacci retracement tool. You take this low here. Goodness, where is it? Come on. Hold on, let me jump out to the 4 hour. Here we go. We got the absolute low of 59,000. Come on. To this high right here that we have right now of 74. Nope. Come on. Come on. Boom. And there it is. All right. Gold pocket. Maybe I did this one a little bit different. I think we didn't have this high just yet. But yeah, gold pocket overall is around this 65,400 to 64,800. This one is probably just not adjusted for this high. If we adjust it to this high, yeah, there you go. It was just adjusted for a lower high down here, the previous year low. You set it up here and it's the same thing. So that's how I got that golden pocket. Gold pockets, simple. It's from absolute highs to lows, right? From lows to highs. And right now, if I wanted to get a gold pocket to the upside, right, I would get my Fibonacci retracement tool. I would go from this current high all the way down to our current low. Boom. And we have a gold pocket if we were going to have a retracement, a 65% retracement back to the upside, right? From this move, we would be looking for the gold pocket to be at 73,459 because it's the absolute local high to the absolute local low. Gives us the Fibonacci retracement of 65% back to the upside of right here. And obviously gold pockets are not a guarantee. They're just something to add some confluence as you approach those areas. Yeah, this is on Bitcoin. I'm actually been very lucky and accurate trading that chart. What chart are you talking about, Bandit? Can Solana drop to 30? Yes, Solana could drop to 30. I just showed it earlier here. So Solana is currently sitting at $88. We found support around $68. But if Bitcoin does rotate towards that $48,000 to $34,000 region, which is still very possible for Bitcoin later this year, Solana does have targets between $55 to $32. It even has targets all the way down to 20. But between 55 to 32 is where I would be stacking up as much Solana as I could. Appreciate everybody jumping in here, smashing those likes, hitting that subscribe. If you guys are interested in scalp trading, drop a 1 into the chat. Everybody that wants to start scalp trading with me, make sure you're joining my free scalp trading group. All you got to do is go to the link in the profile, hit the link, join the Discord, sign up for ZOOMEX under my affiliate link, deposit at least $100. I recommend more if you're going to be scalp trading, but at least $100 deposit. Once you do that, get your user ID, come back to the Discord and hit the verify button. And once you verify your user ID by pasting it in there, you will be good to go to start joining our live scalp trading sessions. Currently waiting for a few more people to join to start actually doing the live scalp trading sessions. So make sure you don't miss out and start joining in. Wait, so is altcoin season starting or is it absolutely wrecked? Guys, what I'm saying is altcoin seasons will not be as large as they used to be in 2021. They just won't be. They will not be as large as they used to be A lot of people bought altcoins in 2024, expecting them to go much, 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 much higher because of how we were looking at altcoin seasons compared to 2021, and the fact that there was ETFs and all these things were going on, and real world assets and tokenizations and yada yada yada. And 2024 quickly reminded everybody and humbled everybody, myself included, that altcoins are just not going to run. And the fact that altcoins can get there's so many more altcoins now than there were before. They're not going to run as far. Altcoins will still have rallies. We will still see some altcoins hit 100x, right? Hit a 50x, hit a 20x. We'll still see some of those occur, but they're going to be fewer than before. They're not going to be as common as before, as we have 46 million altcoins right now. And we have prediction markets right now where the grand majority of people are betting with small amounts of money to get large returns, right? Even though they're not getting it, I'm pretty sure they're all getting wrecked, right? That's where people are preferring to put their money versus back in 2021, prediction markets did not exist. The only market they could go into with a small amount of money and have a potential to make large amounts of money was crypto altcoins, and that is no longer the case. And this is why we're going to see eventually an altcoin bubble that could have already popped maybe, or will pop in some point, erasing 99% of altcoins. Utility and RWAs are the future, in my opinion. Yeah, utility is always good. Utility is always good, Marshall. Obviously, right, you want to get coins that are actually doing something, that are actually being used. Like Hyperliquid has a great utility. It has tokenized a bunch of altcoins, a bunch of stocks like oil, gold, silver, and other stocks overall. A bunch of people are trading stocks on Hyperliquid. That is a fantastic utility. And if you're wondering why, it's because in the stock market, you are required to have $25,000 to be able to day trade, right? If not, you are limited to 3 trades per week. That's it, meaning 1 buy, 1 sell, maybe another buy, or, 2 buys, 1 sell, or 2 sells and 1 buy, depending on if you already had a position built or not. And that's as much as you can do if you have less than $25,000. Now you go to Hyperliquid with $1,000 and you can trade as many stocks as you want, as much as you want. And you can probably use high leverage to create larger positions that you couldn't do before, right? In the stock market. So Hyperliquid has a very good utility, which is one of the reasons why it's running, right? What's this? Look. What a coincidence. Hyperliquid EVM stablecoin supply has crossed 1 billion, surging 96% since February. That's fantastic. Now let's go take a look here at another Hyperliquid stat that by no ways am I pushing Hyperliquid. I don't even own Hyperliquid. But Hyperliquid tops 24-hour fee revenue, generating over 2 million in fees. Look at this. Hyperliquid is creating more fees than Tron, EdgeX, I don't even know what that is, more than Solana, more than BNB, more than Ethereum, more than Bitcoin, I don't even know what Lighter is, more than Base, and every single other, potential blockchain that produces revenue. It is by far, right? Tron with over 1 million, EdgeX at 1 million, Hyperliquid at over 2 million. So that in 24 hours, right? In 24 hours, that is huge amounts of money being made on that blockchain, showing a lot of transactions, a lot of activity happening on that blockchain. Is this all saying that Hyperliquid is going to go to $1,000? No, I am not saying that. Hyperliquid has been in a very tight range between 20 to 50 bucks for many, many months. Does it have a breakout? Does it have a possibility of running for $70 or so? Yes, it does. But like I said, I don't even own Hyperliquid. I'm just saying utility is always good. Doesn't mean that it's going to make you rich. Doesn't mean that it's going to 100x or 1000x or 50x from your entry point. But utility is definitely important. Instead of buying and holding, wait for alt season. What? I don't even understand that question. Statement, I should say. I'm long-term hold till 2030 or 2025. On what? right? Because the question isn't is holding long term good or bad. The question is, what are you holding long term, right? Because if you're holding, let's say, Dogecoin for the next 5 to 10 years, you're gonna get wrecked. If you're holding Render for the next 5 to 10 years, you're probably gonna get wrecked. Now, if you're holding Bitcoin, maybe some Ethereum, maybe some Solana, right? You know, there might be a few other exceptions out there that I'm not thinking about right now that could make you some money, right? Obviously, Bitcoin being the bigger likelihood of all of them, it's going to make you the most amount of money in the next 5 to 10 years. So that's what really matters. What is it that you're holding long term? Holding long term does not guarantee that you will be in profit in the long term, because if you're holding garbage, you're still going to be garbage 5 to 10 years from now. And it'll most likely be a lot closer to zero and never make it back to your entry or anywhere near profit in the next 5 to 10 years. So that is something you need to be aware of. Now, sold Doge at 31. Let's go. Let's go. Appreciate everybody in here. Make sure if you guys want to join the Crypto Citadel, the free scalp trading group for the Crypto Citadel, you join the link in the description of the video or my profile. If you're watching on TikTok, go to my profile, hit the first link, join the free scalp trading. All you got to do is sign up for ZOOMEX under my affiliate link and verify your user ID after depositing $100, and you will be a verified user in the Discord and have access to the scalp trading live sessions. If you want to learn how to do technical analysis, if you want to learn how to read data for the long term, if you want to learn how to become just grow to the next level in skills when it comes to investing by analyzing data and not just going off FOMO and fear, right? And you want to actually start getting more in-depth exclusive analysis on the long term and short term of your altcoins, then join the Crypto Citadel VIP group, right? Which is $99 a month, which is you can get 50% off your first month to try it out using the code Citadel50. The link is also in the profile, so you guys can do that as well. Appreciate all of you guys in here. Appreciate all of you guys smashing those likes. Percentage allocation to Bitcoin versus altcoins, can you please suggest now? Very simple for me. I like to play it safe. I have 50% of my allocation in my portfolio at Bitcoin. 25% of the other 25% of my portfolio is Ethereum. And then the other 25% of my entire portfolio are all other altcoins. Every single other altcoin is 25% or less. It's within the last 25% of my portfolio. So 75% of my portfolio is Bitcoin and Ethereum. And that's how I've been able to stay in the green ever since 2020. Anybody getting rich off meme coins is lying to you, brother. They're lying to you. Ain't nobody here sitting here getting rich off meme coins, especially not today. I love those comments. I love the people's like, come trade meme coins with me. I've made $11 million this month. And I'm like, and you're in people's comment section. You're in people's comment section. You made $11 million in a month, and you are in people's comment section telling people to come trade with you. Please tell me more. Actually, don't tell me more. I know that's a scam. I know that's a lie. Ain't nobody making $11 million in a month and they're jumping into people's comments. Come trade with me, guys. Come trade with me. I'm so rich. I'm so rich. I like Sui. I am holding Sui as well. 100% no one's hitting the top on meme coins. Dude, guaranteed. 100%, bro. 100%. I like Sui. If we go take a look at Sui here. Look at some targets here for Sui. So Sui still has some potential targets down to 61 to 48 cents. If Bitcoin rotates down to 48 to 35, I definitely see those targets being hit for Sui. In the long term, right, in the mid to long term, targets to the upside for Sui are between 213 to about 348. Those are very realistic targets for the next big altcoin season rallies, right? Which is from where we are today at 95 cents to this first target of 213 is 127% move. And if we rotate all the way up to 348, that is a 269% move. I know, only 200%, What happened to the 500, 800, 1000% moves? I'm just here to give you realistic targets. I'm not here to give you moon boy math, FOMO, and hopium. It's just not me. Appreciate all of you guys smashing those likes, hitting that subscribe, guys. I'm going to be heading out. Going to go enjoy my weekend and start relaxing and getting ready for next week to start scalp trading. So make sure if you guys are going to start scalp trading, want to start scalp trading, want to start learning how to read charts, go to the link in my profile. You'll have both links there to either join the VIP Citadel group, right, with 50% off your first month using the code Citadel50, or you can join the free trading scalping group, right? And all you got to do is sign up with my affiliate link to ZOOMEX and start trading there and verify your user ID. So it's up to you how you want to join me, whether it's free or in the VIP group. I'm here for you guys. Like always, I'm Blockchain Crusader, crusading through these blockchains, and I'll see you in the Crypto Citadel. See ya.